Most CEOs think their biggest problem is strategy. It is not. Execution slows because too many decisions still travel back to the CEO.
It was the worst year for a lot of us for our mental as well as physical health. So joining us this morning is best-selling author, coach Lisa Goldenthal.
Hello and welcome. I'm Lisa G, your host. You're at the top of your game, yet the game is changing faster than ever. Strategies that got you here aren't the ones that'll keep you here. The pressure is relentless, and the fear of obsolescence looms large. That's why I'm here. Welcome to the new podcast series, Disrupted: How to Be Gritty and Unlock Performance in Business, Mindset, Wellness, and Success to help you master disruption.
Thanks for coming, and I'll see you soon. The real problem is execution slows because too many decisions still travel back to the CEO. So let me ask you a question. If you stepped away from your company for 30 days, would execution accelerate or stall? If everything still runs through you, your company is flying too low. So hello, everybody. Hello and welcome. Come on in, drop a comment. I want to hear from you. Most CEOs think their biggest problem is strategy. It is not. Execution slows because too many decisions still travel back to the CEO. Let me know if you agree. And eventually, the CEO becomes the ceiling of the company. So let me tell you a story. Hello, everybody. It is Lisa G. I am coming at you live from Kennewick, Washington, where it is finally starting to feel like spring, but definitely still windy. Got to call the roofers again because the tiles are blowing off. But let me know where you are tuning in from. Drop live or replay in the comments so I can say hello. I always try to get back to you and reply to every single comment, either today or within 24 hours. And if you know a leader who needs to hear this conversation, share this right now. Let's create a leadership movement together. Today, I want to talk about something I see happening with a lot of leadership right now. This is happening in teams, and it starts with a story that I promised you. So in 2009, Captain Sully lost both engines over the Hudson River. Total silence. Not the peaceful kind, the expensive kind. Altitude dropping, 155 people on board, no time for meetings, no time for debate, and certainly no time to ask for permission. He said 2 words: my aircraft. And this is now from ego. This is from ownership. So let's jump into a leadership question I have for you guys tonight. Answer in the comments. I want to hear from you. When something breaks at 4:57 p.m. on a Friday, when your team looks at you, when AI is accelerating decisions faster than organizations can process them, let me ask you, are you leading at 30,000 feet or buried in the weeds? Drop altitude in the comments or weeds. I want to hear altitude in the comments if you believe leaders need altitude to lead. Because here's what I see happening with many CEOs and leaders. They're trying to set the company's direction while also approving expenses and reviewing slides while answering emails and Also fixing problems. These problems, of course, should never have reached their desk. You cannot think at altitude if you're buried in the weeds. So drop a yes if you're with me and tracking with me on that. Leadership requires altitude. And altitude requires letting go of what does not belong to you. So here's a quick question. How many leaders here feel like too many decisions still land on your desk? Drop a "that's me" in the comments. The reality is executives make 35,000 decisions per day. 35,000. No wonder leadership burnout is exploding. Sometimes the brain feels like a browser with 75 tabs open, 3 frozen, and 1 playing music, but nobody knows where it's coming from. Drop IKR if you can relate, and if that sounds familiar. Most CEOs don't burn out because they lack intelligence. They burn out because they become over-responsible. And this is because they carry this strategy, the culture, the risk, the decisions, and the emotions of the team. And slowly something happens. Capacity erodes, clarity narrows, execution gets heavier. And not because the team is bad, because the system is wrong. So drop system if you agree that it all starts with that. And this is why I created something called the BOSS method. High performance is not hustle. It's architecture. BOSS stands for boost emotional intelligence. And here's why. Calm leaders stabilize teams. Sully didn't save 155 people with volume. He saved them with composure. In volatile environments, emotional steadiness is a strategic advantage, and that requires you to optimize your energy. Exhausted leaders make expensive decisions. I recently bruised my rib trying to help somebody on a jet bridge. Very heroic and also very unnecessary. It reminded me of something very simple. You are human, you're not a machine. Meaning, if your sleep is fractured, if your stress is chronic, if your energy is depleted, your thinking narrows. Energy is not wellness. It is leadership infrastructure. Drop infrastructure if you require and agree that this is infrastructure. Guard it like a captain. And you have to strengthen your mindset. Clear thinking under pressure is a superpower. Drop superpower if you agree. Your team doesn't need you to know everything. They need you to think clearly when others cannot. That is leadership. Mindset is not trained. It is not assumed. You can train your mindset. And it also requires system architecture. Because if everything stops when the CEO steps away, you are not leading, you are carrying. Drop carrying in the comments if you agree. Because carrying does not scale. So here is the test. I want to hear from you guys. Answer. If you stepped away from your company for 30 days, would execution accelerate or stall? I ask you this because I'm opening something called the Boss 90 Leadership Reset. It helps CEOs remove decision bottlenecks and reclaim leadership capacity. And I'm opening it with 5 founding companies while we document the results. If you're curious, drop execute in the comments or send me a direct message. I'm happy to continue the conversation. I am Lisa G. I always appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming, and remember this: AI may make the aircraft faster, but if the pilot is exhausted, speed increases risk. So protect the pilot, and thanks for joining me today. Tell me whether you're tuning in live or replay, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks for coming. Lonnie Wolf, nice to see you. I'm so glad you agree on the altitude question. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys soon.